Sup, my name is Ryu for the Yugioh Welcome to Coffee Time, your Monday morning discussion video released in the evening, because I like to put it out when Raw is on TV, because not everyone watches WWE. Is that my excuse for the week? Sure. Anyways, this week we're going to be talking about decks that truly could use some support. I have a big list in front of me. If I leave something out that you really do feel needs support, it's not that I'm neglecting it. It just may be that I forgot about it, to be completely honest. And to be fair, I spend 2.5 to 6 hours per most of the discussion videos when it comes to editing the audio, editing the visuals, and just making thumbnails and uploading it. So I try to take my time and make sure everything's near perfect for you guys. We talked about this topic a while ago, but mainly since it's Labor Day and because I really like going back and touching upon things after a bunch of decks got support and really fleshing it out more. I love going back to it. Here we go again, decks that need more support because Konami doesn't listen. The first and foremost one, I'm betraying my Blue Eyes brethren, is Red Eyes Black Dragon. And I'm going to probably sound really cruel when I say the following. It's a deck that has so much potential, but the problem is it cannot capitalize on said potential because Konami holds it back. And when I say that, if you look at Blue Eyes and you look at Red Eyes and you try playing Red Eyes, you're like, oh yeah, Red Eyes has that Blackstone of Legend that busts out a Red Eyes Black Dragon on the board. It can easily make a rank 7 because of Dragon Trine, what you're talking about. Think about that for a second, how much minus that is. They can't use Melody. They can't search out. They have to put everything in the graveyard. Yes, they can make use of Lower Darkness at 3. Yes, that is a big change compared to where it originally was at. And yes, they can make level 8 Synchro so much easier than Blue Eyes. And they can still make the level 9 Synchros that Blue Eyes can and make super fun combos from there. But the point still stands. Konami basically did the deed. They said Blue Eyes is going to be a little Synchro Exceed. Dark Magician is going to be a little more, well, just pretty much Exceed. What are we going to do with Red Eyes? Oh, I don't know. Let's just make them a fusion deck. You look at Shaddoll's and you look at Red Eyes and you're like, how the fuck did Konami go wrong? And I mean, I don't mean to sound the wrong way. We don't need Red Eyes to be this uberly broken deck. We need it to be decent. It needs to capitalize on that beautiful potential it always had, but it hasn't blossomed into, and it just drives me nuts. Because you see something like the Blackstone Legend at like $35, and you see how the deck plays, and you're like, why is that so much money? But moving on, because we don't want to make this just the Red Eyes video, is Buster Blader. Buster Blader is something that is a fine, fantastic, regional, local deck that's cool, but I want more for it. I want it to succeed higher than it typically would, just like BLS. But we're going to leave BLS off because BLS supposedly is getting new support, if I'm not mistaken, in the Raging Tempest booster pack. So Ryu, what are you talking about? Buster Bladers are cool right now, man. There's so many dragon decks flying around. You got the Fellground, you got the Blue Eyes. What are you talking about? Well, let me just be freaking completely frank. The fact that Konami took Buster Blader and made it into an entire archetype, I'll give them credit. That was pretty cool to say the least. But just like Red Eyes, I want to see it go a little bit further. It needs some more love. It doesn't have enough. Now, I know what some of you are probably originally thinking to yourself right now. Okay, we're almost like nearing 5 minutes in. All he's talked about is Buster Blader and Red Eyes. Come on, let's get serious. Where are those decks that really do need it? Here we go. Fortune Ladies. My God, Konami. You give the deck five monsters that look like they want to be Sailor Moon. Okay, that's not right. My bad. That's terribly wrong. You give the deck 6 cards to work with. Different attributes. And they have so much potential, but they can't ever capitalize on it. They're like 1 or 2 cards away from being a really solid deck and just being fun local regionals, maybe even YCS side tournament, just freaking Play Me deck. And it's just so ridiculous that this deck has not gotten support. And I mean, come on, it's not that hard. Put Carly in Arc V. There she goes. She's with Jack. You know, do the mumbo jumbo. And, you know, they go to the synchro round or whatever. And then make it happen. I don't know. Just make it a thing. Just find an excuse and make more Fortune Ladies. There's plenty of people who would be more than happy to have more Fortune Ladies. 6 Samurai. Oh yes, I'm the guy who says that Gateway shouldn't come back because infinite loops are not balanced. And you can disagree with me with that, but that's just true. But there's one thing we all can agree on. 6 Samurai need new support. They need something that is a much more retrained, balanced version of Gateway. Something that will give them cards back because they burn out a resource way too quickly. And that is something that I can completely agree with and understand. But Gateway, to me, is not the answer. I know what people are going to say. OCG, 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 Ryu, OCG. And to that, to be fair, OCG has a lot of crazy cards that really are unbalanced and still out there. So, take it for what you will. Hunders. This is a deck that I saw Gaming Showdown play, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And then I go to play it myself, and I'm like, why is everything so restrictive on what you can and can't do? God damn it. They're just pretty much right now rank 4 deck. And that sucks. Because they're pretty much more forgotten than aliens because they're a Thunder archetype. That tells you it all. I am a Thunder archetype. What can I really do? I could sit here and try to be a cool deck, but all it turns out to be is a rank 4 spam deck. That's pretty much it. I just want them fleshed out more. It's not that I don't like Hunters. I like the concept, but I want them fleshed out more. Iron Chain. This list or this discussion would not be okay to have without mentioning Iron Chain. I don't care if Konami only gave them 4 fucking cards. It's not right, because they were such a cool archetype that could make even Lightsworn a little bit happy to get hit by their monsters. And I'm telling you, there's some untapped potential good shit there. If they would jump on that hype train of Iron Chain, I would just lose my shit. Not that I've ever tried to quote-unquote competitively play Iron Chain, but hey, it would be fun. Crystal Beast. Again, another deck that pretty much feels really outdated compared to a lot of the things that are coming out now. And it really does just in general suck. Because you look at all these decks, you're 10 times faster. And Crystal Beast is fun. Don't get me wrong. It's a fun locals deck. You know, play it at Saturday nights at your locals. One night only for the month. It's Crystal Beast versus John Cena the deck. In all seriousness, Crystal Beast is fun to watch be played, but it just gets outpaced so badly. And technically, they did get Pendulum support, but come on, Konami. Give them some more love. Just a little bit more. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Ryu to mention something that is going to make a lot of people happy. Nordics. This is a deck that I see it. It's a cool synchro concept. They bring out these epic freaking boss monsters. But the problem is, just like everything else, it feels so outdated. It feels so sluggish compared to like other synchro decks right now. Any Yu-Gi-Oh deck that is going to take something that I like, Thor, Loki, Odin, and slam them into a deck and make me want to play it is instant give it more support. It's just like Super Sentai. Did I just call Super Quantum Super Sentai? Yes, I did. It's like Super Sentai Quantum. Because they're Power Ranger deck, I want to see them get more support. Nordics is the same way. Now I'm going to say something that I will even agree needs more support, even though I don't like the deck. And I'll explain why. Ojamas. Little monsters that run around in thongs does not appeal to me. But I would like to see it get new support because I think it's hilarious to watch people play it and try to be, on a serious face when you're putting monsters on the board that are wearing thongs. And Konami's whole censorship thing, you're missing out on censoring those those devious creatures in thongs. Konami, you're so wicked. I mean, my God, I would never let my child play this game because there's monsters in thongs. I'm kidding, of course. Roids. This is a deck that really could use it. It's a few cards off from really seeing it. And I'm glad that Ancient Gear got new support, but come on, give Roids a little love, just a little bit. And it's kind of like Roids have been that machine deck that just gets tossed aside every time. It's like, nope, not today. I mean, there is one more machine deck we'll be talking about that kind of got tossed aside, but, you know, we'll get to it momentarily. Let's talk about an alien invasion. Yes, I made that pun. It was terrible. I regret it. Aliens are a deck that I would love to see get new support because of the brainwashing fact that they want you to... Wait, I just got brainwashed. They want you to play them. They're reptiles that infects brains, but they never really pulled off. They have such a unique style. And yes, they did get a new support card. I'm not going to deny that. But it's not enough. It's just not enough, people. Aliens need to become semi-decent. I'm not asking for a broken tier 1 deck. I'm not asking for a tier 2. I'm just asking for a solid tier 3 deck that can win at least, say, 45% of the time, and that is pretty damn solid and can do what it's trying to do. Infect other monsters with A counters, steal those monsters, and just feel dirty about it at the end of the day. Next I want to talk about is Morphotronics. What can I say about Morphotronics? Well, there are basically go-go bots that I would love to see get more cards because of the simple fact that they remind me of Transformers. And yes, I was on a Transformers hype when the movie came out, and that's part of the reason why I've always basically just looked at Morphotronics like, hey, that's a fun deck to play. Problem is, they have this great thing called Sulfon, and it used to be a really decent deck because 1-for-1 was at 3. Obviously, we are way past, 1-for-1 being at 3. It's now limited and has been limited for a long while. So it's just kind of one of those things, they need something to get to Sulfon a lot faster, and so they can use Sulfon's effect, roll a dice, and hopefully, God, drop monsters on the board because they do have a lot of fun usage. And they can really make use out of equip cards and Power Tool Dragon. And Power Tool Dragon with the level 1 tuner, we all know where that would go. And I would love to see it just, be more playable. Battery Man. I know, it's an OTK deck. It goes against everything I typically say. I don't like degenerate decks. Some people will call Battery Man degenerates. I know. But Fluffle are pretty damn degenerate in their own right, to be fair, because they can just spam out the board. Battery Man are pretty much the budget-friendly version if you don't count Fluffles as budget, because I haven't checked the prices in a while. I'll be completely honest. Battery Man are pretty much the common version, rare version, however you want to phrase that, rarity-wise, and you can go and just have some fun, but the thing is, the deck falls apart. It's a super glass cannon. I know not everyone likes when people say the glass cannon effect. Other games, such as Dark Souls, and not just League of Legends or Yu-Gi-Oh! So, relax. It's a thing. It sucks, but it's a thing. Next thing I want to mention is definitely Gravekeepers. I know I'm going to make some people happy. Even though I cannot stand Royal Tribute, and I'm going to explain why. Because I hate cards that basically can just steal games. And Royal Tribute is that kind of case. I hate it. It's not fun to play against Royal Tribute. It's really not. However, the Gravekeepers and their style of deck, I'm more than welcome to be getting new support. But the problem is, how do you really approach it? Last time they got support, it did make them better, but the problem is, where can you really go from there? Do you give them a synchro? Do you give them a tuner? That's the whole thing. Do you give them pendulums? It doesn't make sense. What would you give them is the main problem. I mean, they do have their own version of Solemn. Granted, it's not that great, but it's better than none. Dinosaurs. And I know what people are going to say. Ryu, pick one dinosaur archetype. Well, I'm going to pick two. Pure dinosaurs that are just generic, and my motherfucking Jirax. I want my rainbow dinosaurs to get some love, okay? Konami took my rainbow dinosaurs away. They said, you can't have no new cards, and I cried for years, okay? The best thing that Jirax can do is drop a Yugioh or a Dulka. They are completely outdated by today's standards. No matter how many speed cards or how many draw power cards you can run in that bitch, the main problem comes down to it. My Rainbow Jirax can't keep up with their Synchro side. They can't keep up with the Exceed side. They have this potential that's untapped. And Konami could easily just go, here's 3 new Jirax cards and completely change the way the deck is. Completely change how the speed of the deck and just go nuts with it. They have so many good cards. Okay, they have like 4 good Jirax cards that are not Synchros or whatnot. Besides Logia and Dulka being Exceeds. But you get my point. This is an archetype that I would love to see. Evil Soar also. Evil Soar is also one I would love to see get support. They are dinosaurs. And of course, pure dinos. Just beat down dinos. I want to mention Worms because flip dot deck is always fun to watch. I know with Prediction Princess that makes it a little bit, if you want to go that route, but not everyone wants to go that route. And I think just a lot of the DT archetypes really could use it. Alloy of Justice, that's definitely one that can use it. But the problem is, how do you give them a card that's going to make everything they battle a light monster, like say if it was a field card, without completely breaking the deck? There has to be some line drawn, and I think that's what Konami's always been so scared of, or just hasn't bothered. They just said, fuck that shit, we ain't doing it. I mean, can you imagine a field card like that? That's all it would really take. Give them a field card, they set the field card up with terraforming, problem solved. They have a Lord Darkness at 3, the deck is fucking dark. There you go. I mean, it's not that hard, Konami, come on, 1 field card. 1. No offense to any super heavy Sam player, but they get like 30 cards. Black Wings get like 30 cards, but you can't give 1 to freaking, Alloy of Justice, the field card that's gonna make monsters late. Thanks, Konami, thanks. Anyway, Amazons. These girls have so much potential to really get out there and be a good deck. And I know it's going to sound really stupid because people will argue Konami won't give it support because it won't make them money. Wonder Woman comes out next year. What is Wonder Woman? She's an Amazon. What deck does Konami have that they can make their own quote-unquote Wonder Woman? And don't bullshit me and say we haven't seen it done before with Konami. I look at Kaijus and I see Godzilla written all over it. I look at Super Quantum, I see Power Rangers written all over it. I'm still waiting on that Ninja Turtle archetype though, Konami. I really am. I see Morphotronics, I see Go-Go Bots. I see little, basically, Transformers, the ones that unlocked the weapons. I don't remember. I think it was like 2000 that happened. Anyways, more importantly, moving on, because there's a few more to go over. I want to mention Venom, just honorable mention, because we're already pushing time tonight. Venom basically has a really cool thing where they drop their opponent's monster 0, but it's so slow and so slow paced that it really does need that whole just overturned way of working that Konami likes to put with newer archetypes. They also have a card's attack and a Foolish Barrel that mills 4, so it won't take much to really make them decent, just saying. Kokimaru, so much potential, never grasped. Thanks, Konami. They're a cool stun deck, but that's about it if you count Rock Stun or try to make them their own thing. I know they did get a majorly good support card, but I'm talking about right now they could use some more love. Trap Tricks is only 4 monsters, and I know what people are going to say, but there's Bottomless and Floodgates and all these other cards, Ryu. You just need to know how to use them. In all seriousness, I'm only asking for like 1 more monster because they have a rank 4, freaking Exceed. I'm asking for 1 more. Maybe 1 Exceed to go with it that's a little more offensive than defensive. I mean, are you really going to put the Trap Trick succeed right now into attack mode with 550 attack and start swinging at your opponent going, yeah, man, take all that damage. Like, I don't see that happening. I just don't. Mecha Phantom Beast. Try saying that 48 times. Yeah, screw your 3-time challenge. MPB is such a cool deck because they are a synchro-based deck, but they can do a bunch of other things, obviously. Exceed. Most people will only recognize the name from Dragosack. Yeah, that sucks. Basically, the way Dragosack works is the way these guys work, but there's so much flexibility with them. And they have not gotten a support card in like 2 years. I think the last time they even got support was around Dragon Ruler. And the problem is when they were out, Dragon Rulers were the big thing. So they really got just the shit end of things. So they really need another chance to get out there. They're also a machine deck, so you know what that means. Yugioh, it's been a while, Konami. It's been a while. Oh, it's been a while. Why don't you just give Yugioh a bone, throw them something that they can use that's not called Cyber Dragon Infinity? Yes, it's cool that Cyber Dragon's got Cyber Dragon Infinity, but jeez, just give Yugioh something that is not a terrible starter deck. Okay, structure deck by Konami standards, but I call it a starter deck because honestly, that was the worst structure deck in a long while. Moving on, UA, they basically got hit with the Rota, going a 1, and they really could use something just to help them out. I don't really know. I would probably argue that they could either use something like Cosmotown where they could put all their stuff back in and then draw cards equal to it, like a Magical Mallet effect or a Mulligan effect, or give them another monster that they can normal summon so they don't fucking dead draw all the time. That would be pretty cool. Battling Boxers. Another deck that screams Rocky Balboa that could easily get some love, and Konami could capitalize on the Rocky Balboa joke that Ryu just made, but no, we're Konami. We don't believe that deck should get support. So I have like 3 more in front of me. Gladiator Beast, Gaming Showdown, said that. And I'm not going to just sit here and basically reiterate what he said, but the deck's outdated. That's all I'm going to say. Dark Worlds, come on, Konami. Make them more than just draw power dot decks. They need some diversity. It just... Fabled, really cool deck. I think it already has a lot of potential, but they could use 1 or 2 more things. And finally, I'm going to mention Shirayui because I've been recently playing with the deck, and the problem with that is, yes, they can do tons of stuff, but they only have so much support. They could use more support-based cards that are not generic or from different archetypes. So that's all my choices. That is, I think, close to like 28. Close to. And that was, that was fun to do. I know there's probably one I'm leaving out, and I'll mention it now, is Spiders. Ooh, Spiders. That is a deck I wouldn't mind seeing get some love. And I know people can say, what about Dragoonies? Just give them Dragon Ravina 3. I'm sorry. I know I'm sounding like a dick right now. But that's the one big thing Dragoonies do need. I got a turtle in this reptile room that is going a little bit insane right now. He wants some attention. I'm ending the video off here. There is no channel update this week. Sorry, guys. The only channel update is I haven't been sleeping as much. So that's why this video is being pre-recorded 2 days in advance so I could work on it earlier and actually catch up on my sleep. But I do it because I love you guys and I know you're enjoying the videos as much as I'm enjoying making them. And obviously the channel's spiking up in growth, so I kind of want to capitalize at the same time because we're actually doing that thing we wanted to do, which is create a little community within a community and show people that not everyone is so toxic, to be completely fair. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm not trying to hate on everyone when I say that. There's no fire being lit anywhere, but it's late at night. I gotta get up in the morning. Thank you guys so much for tuning in as always. Make sure to subscribe for more if you enjoy the content. And I will see you tomorrow for Tech Tuesday and something else. Now, I'm going to go see what this turtle wants. Peace.